of your flight performance was right on.
Is that right?
That is right.
But I held something back. I see some real genius in your flying, Maverick, but I can't say that in there. I was afraid that everyone in that tax trailer would see right through me. And I just don't want anyone to know that I've fallen for you.
Now, as you can see from that scene, Kelly McGillis has certainly come a long way from her role as an Amish widow in Witness. This time out, she's playing a glamorous astrophysicist who works for the U.S. Navy in training some of its top fighter pilots. Among them, of course, hotshot Tom Cruise. Now, their torrid romance is just part of the action in Top Gun, one of the big new releases for this summer. I'm Michael Medved.
And I'm Jeffrey Lyons. And in addition to Top Gun, we'll review Short Circuit. That's a comedy about a government scientist who's invented a robot which thinks it's alive. And Sweet Liberty, starring Alan Alda and Michael Caine, about how a movie company disrupts the lives of people in a small town. Dangerously Close is a drama about a gang of teenage vigilantes trying to keep fellow students in line at a California high school. And Nancy Glass will take a look at movies in which women get a chance to take revenge. Michael's up first with his review of Short Circuit.
Thank you, Jeffrey. Short Circuit starts out in a top-secret laboratory that's just developed the ultimate weapon. That's a killer laser-armed robot. But robot prototype number 5 just happens to be standing out in the rain and gets struck by a bolt of lightning. And this sudden surge of electricity causes it to come alive and to run away from the lab. Now, it finds refuge with Ali Sheedy, a wacky free spirit who sells yogurt and sprouts for a living. And she invites number 5 into her home and does her very best to satisfy the haywire machine's insatiable need for new input.
Here, Oregon. Home of the beaver, famous for cherries.
Beavers, cherries, input.
I'm giving you great input.
More input, more input.
How about pictures? Do you like pictures? We have a lot of pictures here. A lot of them. This is a picture of an aardvark. See that? It's an aardvark. It's a mammal.
Input. Aardvark, Abyssinia, Adam, Duck,
Holy crow, you can read.
Input. More input.
Okay, no problem. Volume 2, no problem.
More input, Stephanie. More.
There isn't any more. You've read everything in the house.
Ooh. Oranges, apples, lemons, limes.
Oh, that's great. Thanks a lot.
Fabric, tablecloth.
No, not my dishes. Okay, God.
Breakfast table, American contemporary.
Oh, my china.
Numerous fragments.
Okay,
Some
fine.
large,
You have
some
me-
small.
Now, this robot could obviously teach the Evelyn Wood advanced course. Most of Short Circuit is one long chase scene as the hard-hearted bureaucrats from the weapons lab try to capture and then dismantle their runaway robot. But the machine keeps getting away from them, thanks to Ali Sheedy, and eventually with the help of the robot's inventor, played by Steve Guttenberg. But finally, the bad guys catch up with the fugitives, and they manage to force a confrontation.
Hi, Howard! Schroeder, how you doing? Howard, we're fine. Number 5 is right here with us. I've got it completely under my control. We're coming out now.
Howard! They're cooking something up. I can smell it. We gotta fry them now, Howard.
Don't you dare shoot your stupid gun!
Where's number 5? He's fine. He's in the van.
Okay. Why don't you and the young lady just get away from the van and let us handle it?
Yes, Stephanie, get away. Danger.
Listen, I know what the malfunction is.
Sorry, Crosby. You can't take any more chances. We're not losing that thing again.
Howard, if you just come over and inspect the unit, it's
You're a defensive liar!
As soon as they're clear, open fire! What the hell have you done? I'll take care of this. Oh, you're not taking over. No, listen.
He's alive. I can prove it.
One side.
Short Circuit follows all the familiar cliches about an odd but adorable creature and its human pals versus heartless scientists, and it will surely remind you of other movies like E.T., Starman, and Splash. Here, it's all silly and it's totally implausible, but Short Circuit also has a sense of humor that will probably win you over. It did me. The robot's fascinating to watch and very endearing as it gradually learns to imitate human behavior. This movie, I'd have to say, is cute with a capital K. Sophisticated moviegoers may be annoyed by it, but I think most people are going to have a good time.
Michael, I think you need more input. Silly and imitate, I think, are the operative words here. The robot could have written this movie. Every frame is predictable. It's nothing but a chase sequence, one after the other.
There were some surprises. I like the fact that they taught the robot is watching TV, and it watches John Wayne and Three Stooges on TV, and then imitates them again in very funny ways. And the movie has laughs in it. And how many times can you go to the theater today and get real laughs from a motion picture?
I won't deny that it's a movie of amusing moments. Given the premise, it's got to be there. But that's all it is, disconnected moments. And the robot is on in almost every single scene, and then you lose the idea that there's anything novel here. In E.T., you saw E.T. gradually.
You can't compare it. E.T.'s a much better film.
It's
but one thing I
of
did
E.T.
like about this movie is it's done by director John Badham, who also did War Games, and he did Blue Thunder. And those movies, entertaining as they were, I felt were marred by very heavy-handed political messages underlined. This movie also has a subtle anti-war message in it, but it's subtly done. It's done with taste. You're not hit over the head with it.
Because this movie is aimed at 13-year-olds. Steve Guttenberg is much too young to be believed as a brilliant government scientist. And why are they even trying to destroy it? They should do everything to try to save that robot.
You're definitely right that the movie is aimed for kids. But what's wrong with that? I think some adults can enjoy it while they see it with their children.
Need more input, Michael. Our next movie is Sweet Liberty, a comedy about a movie company which comes to a sleepy North Carolina college town to shoot the screen version of a local professor's book about the American Revolution. Alan Alda plays the professor who's dismayed at the way the screenwriter has turned his book into an exploitation movie. But he becomes friendly, nevertheless, with the movie's philandering leading man, portrayed by Michael Caine. And in this scene, after a heated fencing match, Caine and Alda leave the set and head for town.
Mr. James. Mr. James, I'll take you.
No, I'll be fine, thank you.
Mr. Hodges said you were never supposed to drive yourself.
Oh, really? How odd. Get in, Michael. Get in.
Mr. Hodges said I was supposed to drive you.
Tell Mr. Hodges I'll be back in no time at all. I really wish he could read what we write. Watch it. I should never have let you fence without a jacket. But I do these idiotic things. As a result, my life is an absolute mess. Oh, yeah? I'd never have put you down the hill if I hadn't been so distracted. Well, what seems to be the problem? Well, my marriage, for one thing. I have a wonderful wife and I adore her. But I've been very naughty with several of the ladies in the village. I always do that. It's incredibly self-destructive. Elliot, there's an enormous sound. Elliot, there's a... Tired? Yes. You know what my problem is? The way they smell. The perfume of their skin, it's so intoxicating. I told my wife I'd never even look at other women if only I could cut off my nose. What did she say? She said I was aiming too high.
Later, Caine's been dallying with the college president's wife, and to cover up his cheating, Caine invites everyone he knows to an innocent outing at the local amusement park. And in this scene, along with the professor and the screenwriter of the movie, they all go for a spin on the roller coaster.
I'm not going up on that thing. You want him in our corner? You want a rewrite up there on the screen? Michael, be free, be wild. A little ride on a children's toy. Come on. Have some fun for once in your life. You'll love it. It's great. Come on and enjoy yourself. Michael, if I may, I'd like to have a little chat with Leslie. Go ahead. Change seats with me. Change seats? We're a mile into the air. I have to talk to Leslie. Go ahead. I'm not moving. Come on, Elliot. Come on. You crazy. Elliot, we better sit down before we get to the top. It could be very dangerous. Get your feet in. Get your leg in. You want to get hurt? What's the matter with you? Great, man. I love it. It's a lot of fun in the movie business, you know? I thought it would smell delicious.
Elliot, I think your wife expects something.
No. Not for a second. Give me your lips. your fingers off my face. We're dying here. You worried about your face? Tom, T-shirt, you don't close your lips. Leslie, give me your lips just for a moment.
Sweet Liberty is full of funny scenes like that. Its movie within a movie situation is nothing new, of course, but it's about how real people might react under such circumstances. You buy the idea. Alda's a terrific all-purpose actor who also wrote and directed this interesting movie. He wins your sympathies right away. And Michael Caine, portraying a hammy, vain leading man in a second-rate costume drama, he shows a superb gift for farce. There's a touching subplot, too, involving Alda's aged mother, played by Lillian Gish, and all the characters here have just the right number of flaws. Sweet Liberty, this is how a light comedy should be done.
Jeffrey, I liked it too. Not quite as much as you did, but I thought the best line in the movie came from the director of the sleazy little teenage movie within a film, where he says, you know, to appeal to kids today, you've got to do three things in movies. You've got to defy authority, you've got to smash property, and you've got to take off your clothes. Now, one problem with Sweet Liberty was there was a little bit more of taking off your clothes than was absolutely necessary. Too many affairs and too many nude scenes.
Well, perhaps, but you know, Alan Alda also made The Four Seasons, another good example of ensemble acting here. 5 minutes into this movie, you know who all the characters are. When they talk about them when they're not on screen, you know who they're talking about. That means everything is cooking.
It's very well done, and there's a lovely feel to the movie. It's green and lush and summery and sort of nostalgic, and it's supposed to be North Carolina, and I was amazed to read that the film was actually shot in Long Island, but it works very well.
And there's also a nice, funny competition between the Hollywood stuntmen who come to this town and the locals who like to dress up as Revolutionary soldiers once a year and parade around the town, and they both do the same kind of stunts, but in different ways, amateur versus pro. I like that a lot.
One of the few characters I thought who didn't work was Bob Hoskins, who plays the screenwriter we saw there. It's too New York. It's not right.
Well,
screenwriters get very pretentious and very sophisticated, even when they're writing sleazy little teen exploitation movies.
He's also a good English actor trying to fake his accent by overdoing his...
Yeah, you didn't like his New York accent. Right, okay. Top Gun is the name of our next film, and it's also the nickname for a real-life training program in which the U.S. Navy prepares the very finest of its fighter pilots. Now, these elite jet jockeys are all cocksure of themselves, but none of them is more arrogant than Tom Cruise, who shows his colors on the very first day of class.
In case some of you wonder who the best is, they're up here on this plaque on the wall. The best driver in his reel from each class has his name on it. And they have the option to come back here to be Top Gun instructors. You think your name's going to be on that plaque?
Yes, sir.
That's pretty arrogant, considering the company you're in.
Yes, sir.
I like that, the pilot. Just remember, when it's over out there, we're all on the same team. Gentlemen, this school is about combat. There are no points for second place.
With the same sort of arrogance, Tom Cruise pursues Kelly McGillis, who portrays a brilliant scientist who is one of the civilian instructors.
Too aggressive. Yeah, I guess when I see something, I go right after it. You didn't tell me who you were the other night.
You didn't give me a chance, did you? You deserved it.
I know. But, you were tempted to ask me out for dinner.
No.
No?
No. You don't date students.
I can see it's dangerous for you. But if the government trusts me, maybe you could.
It takes a lot more than just fancy flying.
Now, despite the charisma of these two jet-propelled stars, and they are, their supposedly red-hot romance never really takes off. It remains mechanical and it's flat. And what's more, Kelly McGillis never made me believe that she had a PhD in astrophysics, after all. But sexual byplay is only a small part of the action in Top Gun. The heart of this picture is its spectacular aerial sequences, in which the young pilots compete in simulated combat.
Okay,
and gentlemen, this is House 31. To reach the graduation. Top Gun trophy still up for grabs, so every point counts.
Well, it's bottom of the ninth. The score is tied. It's time for the big one.
You up for this one, Maverick?
Just a walk in the park, Kadatsky.
Contact. Multiple bogeys. 165. 2 miles. Looks like they're going away from us.
All right, Dan. Sally Hill, right 2 o'clock. I'm in.
I'm in.
It's great to see real planes instead of models for once, isn't it? Now, there's a lot to criticize about this movie, of course, but those dogfight sequences, I'm going to admit they got me going. And even cheering along with the action. What's more, this film is fascinating in the way it portrays these swaggering young pilots. They're really just kids up there, but they're entrusted with $30 million flying machines, and they're risking their lives to defend their country. The movie shows the competition and the love between these reckless flyboys, who are part overgrown adolescents, part professional athletes, part Grecian gods, and in the end of this movie, they turn out to be all-American heroes. The film is sure to be a tremendous hit, and I found myself liking it in spite of myself.
I almost liked it, Michael, but overall it looks like a Navy recruiting film, that's all, or a rock video. I mean, the music is oppressive, and the Kelly McGillis character, I'm a big fan of Kelly McGillis in all her films so far. Here, her character nearly ruins it. It's a hokey, unbelievable love story.
You know, part of it, it's obviously influenced by An Officer and a Gentleman. This is sort of like The Officer and a Gentleman one step further. He's become a naval aviator.
Right.
Yeah, now he's going to become the Navy's best. So they also felt they had to throw in some kind of romance, and I agree with you. It's the worst part of the film, but there's enough action sequences, and frankly, Kelly McGillis is fascinating enough on screen to make me still enjoy this motion picture.
Okay, that's another issue, Michael, but there's a substantial part of this picture devoted to that love story. This is not something you can really brush under the rug, Michael. It's a very important part of this picture.
You're right.
And it ruins the intended mood.
And there are other problems. I mean, frankly, too many shots of planes taking off at sunset.
Absolutely.
And the rock music doesn't work at all. But the film is exciting. People will cheer. They'll have a good time. And one of the things that I found very interesting is directed by Tony Scott. He's the brother of Ridley Scott, and Ridley Scott just directed Tom Cruise, the same star, in a terrible movie, Legend. So Tom Cruise did much better. We agreed that that was a terrible one.
Yes.
So Tom Cruise did much better with the other brother.
For me, it's an example of what might have been, Michael. Could have been a terrific picture. As it is, it misses the mark.
That have found their way into recent movies. Nancy?
Thanks, Michael and Jeffrey. Years ago, when a woman in a movie got mad, the most she could do was go home to mother's comfort. Today, she's more likely to find comfort in getting even, which brings us to the Ladies' Club. It deals with a very sensitive subject, rape, and the frustration of being a victim. It involves a group of women who dream of the ultimate punishment for repeat offenders, one that would make those men qualify for the Ladies' Club as well. Now, this movie could have been exploitive or overdone, but it isn't, mostly because it deals more with personal feelings than physical violence. The Ladies' Club does rely on a few too many cliches and skips along the surface a little too much, which sometimes makes it come off like a made-for-TV movie. But the Ladies' Club works because the characters are real, and even with a tough subject, the movie has a sense of humor.
How do we write this up? Assault or robbery? After all, his personal effects are missing.
Our next movie also involves a club, several knives, guns, and even a bow and arrow. It's Murphy's Law, and no, it isn't the sequel to Murphy's Romance. It's Charles Bronson up against a femme fatale with the emphasis on fatale. Bronson is a police officer who's framed for murder. He teams up with a juvenile delinquent to find the real killer, whose real target is Murphy. The murderer is an ex-con who wants revenge in the worst way, and that's just how she goes about getting it. As a killer, she's pretty mechanical, and as a conversationalist, she's pretty flat.
All I want is for you to say, ah.
She's obviously not going to check that man's dental work. But Murphy's Law is not very arresting because it only offers the usual. Guns, car crashes, guns, bodies, guns, chase scenes, and more guns. We've just seen 2 attempts at giving women an equal chance at revenge. One is an angry response to an issue, the other issues enough ammunition to knock off an army. But perhaps the lesson here is that movie makers should make better films, because if they don't, some woman might get angry. I'm Nancy Glass.
Well, I'm glad at least that Nancy didn't get too angry about that. Now to summarize our reviews of this week's movies. We split on Short Circuit. I found it silly, but also entertaining and endearing, while Jeffrey thought it was nothing more than an infantile ripoff of E.T. We both enjoyed Sweet Liberty, Alan Alda's likable comedy about a Hollywood movie company invading a small Carolina town. But we disagreed on Top Gun. I thought the aerial battle scenes were sensational, and I respected its portrayal of cocksure young Navy pilots. But Jeffrey thought the contrived love story ruined the movie. But we both warn you, and I mean warn you, to stay safely far away from dangerously close, an insipid and overdone drama about high school vigilantes.
And that's it for this week. Join us next week when we take a look at 4 new films, including Poltergeist 2, a horrifying tale of the supernatural, and Letter to Brezhnev, about Soviet sailors on shore leave in Liverpool, England. So until then, don't forget to save us the aisle seats.